The first light of dawn breaks across the village, spilling soft amber tones onto the dry, cracked earth. Amina stands at the edge of the baobab tree, her fingers brushing the rough bark. Her heart stirs, an inexplicable pull drawing her to the old tree. For so long, it's been an unremarkable part of her daily routine. But today feels different.
What if I'm imagining this? What if I'm just so desperate for meaning that I'm hearing things? But it was real. It has to be real.
Her gaze darts across the empty field. No one else is around. Her heartbeat quickens, then stills as a faint whisper cuts through the silence. The words are familiar, yet impossible.
Amina.
Who's there?
The air around her grows heavy, and her breath catches in her throat.
Am I losing my mind? Maybe. Maybe the loneliness is getting to me. I've always been so alone. This can't be real.
Her heart races in disbelief as she glances back one last time at the tree. For a moment, she feels its power, its deep, silent wisdom. And then the whisper comes again, insistent, almost tender.
Amina.
Who are you?
It's no longer a figment. It's clear, undeniable. The world around her feels suspended in time. The sun peeks over the horizon, and the baobab stands like an ancient guardian, its branches swaying as if beckoning her forward. Despite her fear, Amina feels an unsettling pull toward the tree, toward the voices of the past.
What am I to do with this? I hear you, but what if I can't answer?
The village is alive with the hum of activity. Children laugh, chasing each other in the dusty streets, while the elders speak in low tones about the day's tasks. Amina moves quietly through the scene, blending into the background, unnoticed, except for Nyala.
Good morning, Amina. The goats behaved well.
They were calm today, as always.
Amina's eyes drop to the ground, as they always do. She can never quite meet anyone's gaze for long, afraid they'll see the cracks inside her. She notices Nyala's gaze linger a moment too long, the kindness in her eyes offering an unspoken understanding.
You're always so quiet, Amina. It's okay to laugh with us. You know, the children, they enjoy your company.
Amina feels the weight of the words land in her chest. The flicker of possibility that maybe, just maybe, she could belong. But the insecurity pushes it down, the walls around her growing higher.
Maybe they see me. But if they really did, if they really understood who I am, they would leave. They always do.
Her gaze drifts toward the older villagers, the respected figures in the community. They do not notice her, and she feels that familiar ache of invisibility.
I will always be an outsider here. The baobab spoke to me, but I can't even speak to my own people.
The air inside the council hut is thick with the scent of burning herbs, a sharp contrast to the rising tension outside. The elders sit in a circle, their voices low and serious. The chief's authoritative tone fills the room, and Amina feels her heart sink as the weight of their dismissive eyes falls on her.
The crops are failing. The riverbed is dry. We must address this with practical solutions: irrigation, better farming, new methods.
Amina stands in the doorway, her heart pounding in her chest. This is the moment. She takes a step forward, her voice shaky but resolute.
The baobab spoke. The ancestors warned us of a drought. We need to prepare.
A harsh laugh erupts from one of the elders, and the chief's face hardens.
Enough. Go tend to the goats, child. This is no time for superstition.
Amina's cheeks flush with humiliation, but she stands her ground, though her legs feel like they may give out. The room is cold with laughter, and Amina's heart aches. The sense of rejection washes over her, but deep inside, a flicker of something stubborn ignites.
They will never understand. They've forgotten the old ways, and I am alone in remembering.
Her head tilts as she turns to leave, but her mind is elsewhere. The voice of the baobab, urging her to stand firm, to not retreat into the shadows again. Night falls heavily across the village, the silence profound after the day's chaos. Amina finds herself beneath the baobab once more, her hands trembling as they touch the rough bark. The cool night air brushes against her skin, but the storm in her heart rages.
I've tried to speak, to lead, but it feels like I'm yelling into the void. Why does it feel like no one hears me?
The whisper returns, gentle yet insistent.
You are not alone. You were never meant to stand alone.
Amina closes her eyes, the tears falling freely now, not out of weakness, but as a release. The weight of isolation, the loneliness she has carried her entire life, begins to melt. The whispers of the ancestors are clear now, their power undeniable. She is not mad. She is called.
I will listen. I will carry this, no matter the cost.
The sun beats down relentlessly, casting a cruel shadow over the parched village. Dust swirls in the wind, and the dry riverbed stretches like an open wound through the village's heart. Amina walks among the villagers, her steps measured, eyes scanning the land she knows so well. Each plant, each tree, feels like a friend, slowly slipping away, and her heart sinks with every crack in the earth.
I knew it was coming, but seeing it like this, seeing the land break apart like this, it's harder than I imagined. What will they do when they realize I was right? Will they ever believe me?
She watches as the villagers, once full of life, now move with sluggish, defeated motions. There is no laughter in the air anymore, only whispers of fear. The crops wither, the animals grow weaker, and the once thriving river is now just a dry bed of cracked mud. The reality of the drought is undeniable.
The river's drying up. If the rains don't come soon, we'll lose everything.
What did we do wrong? Why has this happened to us?
Amina stops, her heart aching. She knows the truth. They've done nothing wrong. This is a warning from the ancestors, a sign of the imbalance between the people and the land. But they can't see it yet. They won't, until it's too late.
I tried to warn them, but how can I convince them when they won't listen? When they don't believe in the power of the past?
Her fingers brush against the dry earth, and for a moment, she feels the energy of the land beneath her fingers, weak but still there. A whisper of connection lingers, but it's fragile, like the air before a storm. The morning air is thick with humidity, but the sky is clear. Amina stands at the edge of the forest, gazing into the depths of the sacred grove where the first relic is said to be hidden. Nyala stands beside her, uncertain, yet willing to accompany Amina on this dangerous journey. The forest feels oppressive, quiet, heavy with the weight of something forgotten.
Are you sure this is the right thing to do, Amina? The elders still don't believe. What if we're just chasing shadows?
Amina turns to her, her expression hardening, yet there's a flicker of doubt in her eyes.
I have to do this. The baobab spoke to me. The ancestors have shown me the way. I can't turn back now. But what if it's all for nothing? What if they're right? What if I'm wrong? How can I carry the weight of all of this?
Her fear is palpable, but she swallows it down. There is no turning back. She walks into the forest, the shadows growing longer with each step. The trees seem to close in around her, the air growing heavier, thick with the scent of wet leaves and earth. They reach the altar in the center of the grove, overgrown and abandoned. Amina kneels, her fingers brushing the stone altar, feeling the power hidden within the markings. A faint glow begins to emanate from beneath the stone, and Amina's heart races.
This is it. This is the first relic.
She lifts the staff from the altar, its surface carved with intricate symbols. The moment her fingers touch it, a surge of energy courses through her. The connection between the ancestors and the land is real, undeniable.
I can feel it. The power, the weight. It's real. The ancestors are with me. This is real. I'm not crazy. I'm not alone.
Kwam appears from the shadows, his face filled with awe and skepticism, but he does not speak. He simply watches her, his heart heavy with something unspoken.
You've found it. But this is not just a relic, Amina. This is a burden. It carries the weight of our people's history. It carries their sacrifices. Are you ready to carry it?
The village square is filled with heated arguments. Villagers are shouting at each other, their faces filled with fear and desperation. The drought has continued for weeks now, and people are beginning to turn on each other. Some blame Amina for her superstitions, while others quietly whisper in support of her.
She's cursed us. This drought is because of her. We should have never listened to her talk about the baobab.
You're wrong. She warned us. She told us the drought was coming. She's trying to save us.
Amina stands in the center of the square, the drum now in her hands. The village is splitting before her eyes, and she feels the weight of it, pressing down on her shoulders. She knows this is the turning point, the moment when everything hinges on what she says and does.
I can't do this. How can I lead them when they're so divided? What if they never believe me?
She takes a deep breath, raising the drum, her voice steady as she addresses the crowd.
This drought is not a curse. It is a sign, a warning from the ancestors. We must listen to them if we are to survive.
The chief steps forward, his face twisted with a mixture of pride and disdain.
Enough of this nonsense, Amina. This is a drought, nothing more. We will focus on what we can control. We will not succumb to superstition.
You say it's just a drought, but we are losing more than our crops. We are losing our connection to the land, to the ancestors. Without that, we will lose ourselves.
The chief looks at her with a hard expression, but for a brief moment, there's a flicker of doubt in his eyes. He turns away, unwilling to entertain her words any longer. The village is still divided.
Will they ever believe? How much longer can I carry this burden?
That night, beneath the baobab, Amina stands alone. The weight of the village's divided beliefs presses on her chest, and the self-doubt begins to creep in again. She closes her eyes, the sound of the wind rustling through the leaves, the only comfort in the stillness.
Why does it feel like I'm screaming into the void? Why does it feel like no one hears me? The chief doesn't believe. The villagers are turning against me. What if I'm wrong?
The whisper comes again, gentle and insistent.
You are not wrong. You have been chosen. The ancestors are with you.
Amina opens her eyes, the tears she's been holding back spilling over. She is not wrong. She is not alone. The ancestors are guiding her, and she must trust in their wisdom. She raises her arms toward the sky, the weight of her purpose grounding her.
I will carry this. I will lead them.
The wind stirs, and the leaves above her seem to rustle in approval. The spiritual connection stronger than ever. The morning sun rises over a village that is both physically and spiritually worn. The drought has continued, and though the rain has temporarily restored some hope, the land remains fragile. Amina stands on the threshold of the last phase of her journey. She has already retrieved the sacred staff and the ceremonial drum, but the final relic, the key to restoring full balance, is still missing. It lies hidden in an ancient shrine deep within the forest. Amina, now resolute, walks toward the edge of the village, the drum hanging from her shoulder, the staff gripped tightly in her hands. Nyala, who has grown more supportive, follows quietly behind, though her eyes betray uncertainty. The forest looms ahead, dense with shadows and the weight of centuries-old secrets.
Amina, I have to ask again, are you sure about this? Even if you find the last relic, will the rain-making ceremony truly work? It seems impossible.
Amina pauses and turns to her, the quiet strength in her eyes contrasting with the uncertainty in her voice.
I understand your fear, Nyala. I feel it too. But this is our only chance. The ancestors have shown me the way. We must do this for the village, for the land.
Amina's heart stirs with the familiar fear of being alone in her belief. Will they believe?
I can't let them see me doubt. I can't show weakness. They need me to be strong, but I don't know if I can carry this weight. But I must. For them.
The forest opens before them. Dense trees closing in around them like ancient guardians. The atmosphere is thick and the silence almost suffocating. The deeper they go, the more the weight of time seems to press down on them. Amina pushes forward, the sacred relics guiding her path. They reach the abandoned shrine. The stone altar is partially overgrown with vines, and the ancient carvings on its surface are nearly indistinguishable. The air feels heavy with the presence of ancestors, but it also feels still, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Amina kneels before the altar, her fingers brushing the stone. Beneath her touch, a faint glow emanates from a hidden compartment. Slowly, carefully, she lifts a ceremonial drum, beautifully carved and decorated with symbols she has seen before.
This is the last relic.
As her hands make contact with the relic, a surge of energy pulses through her body, powerful and overwhelming. The drum hums with the weight of history, its rhythms beckoning her to listen.
I can feel it, the power. I am ready. I have to be.
Nyala, standing slightly behind her, watches in awe. For the first time, she sees Amina's complete transformation, from the insecure, lonely girl to the powerful spiritual leader the village needs. Her gaze softens.
You've done it, Amina. This is real.
Amina stands slowly, lifting the drum higher above her head. The relic, now glowing softly in her hands, feels like an extension of herself, part of her spirit, her destiny. With the final relic secured, she turns to face the forest, the village, and the weight of what comes next. The village is in chaos. The drought continues to gnaw away at the land, and the villagers are losing hope. The crops have failed, the water has dried up, and food supplies are dwindling. There is palpable fear in the air as people gather in the village square, speaking in hushed voices, their faces filled with desperation.
How much longer can we wait for the rain? Amina has been talking about this ritual, but nothing has changed. We're dying out here.
We need food, we need water. We can't just wait for miracles.
The chief, once the pillar of authority, stands at the center of the crowd, his face drawn and weary. His hands shake as he raises them to silence the villagers. But it's clear he's losing control. His confidence has been shattered, and he knows it.
We are doing everything we can. The rain, it will come. We just have to...
Amina steps forward, her presence commanding the room. The villagers fall silent as she approaches, the drum hanging at her side, the staff in her hand. She is no longer the timid outcast. She is the leader, the spiritual guide, the one who will bring them through the darkness.
We have to believe. The ancestors are with us. The ritual must be performed, or we will lose everything.
Her voice is steady, yet it carries the weight of the village's survival. The chief steps toward her, his face filled with doubt, but there is a flicker of something. Perhaps respect, perhaps resignation.
I'm losing them, Amina. They don't believe in me anymore.
Amina stands tall, her eyes meeting his. She knows the challenge ahead. The village is fractured, and the chief's authority is slipping away. But she also knows that if the ritual is to succeed, it will require the unity of the village.
The ancestors never left us. They have guided me to this moment. Together, we can restore balance.
There is a long pause. Then, slowly, the chief nods, his face etched with the burden of leadership.
Then let us do this together.
We must. It is the only way.
The villagers murmur among themselves, some skeptical, but a quiet determination begins to settle over them. The chief, for the first time in weeks, stands at her side, his posture softer, more aligned with the spirit of unity she has invoked. Night has fallen, and the village is silent under the weight of anticipation. The baobab tree stands at the center of the gathering, its massive trunk illuminated by the flickering flames of a ceremonial fire. The villagers have gathered, their faces a mixture of fear and hope, watching Amina as she prepares for the rain-making ceremony. Amina stands beneath the tree, the drum resting in front of her. The village is still. Every movement, every breath feels heightened, charged with the weight of the moment. Kwame, the chief, and the elders are present, standing behind her. They are here to witness her leadership, but they are also here to honor the connection between the living and the ancestors. Amina raises the drum high, her eyes closed in concentration, feeling the rhythm of the earth beneath her feet. The sound of the drumbeat fills the air, soft at first, but with growing intensity. The crowd is silent, the air thick with tension.
This is it. The ancestors are with me. I will not fail. The rain will come. I will bring them home.
The wind picks up, and dark clouds begin to form in the sky. A deep rumble of thunder echoes through the land. The village watches in awe as the storm grows, the sky itself reacting to Amina's call. The air shifts, and Amina feels the surge of spiritual power fill her, guiding her every movement. She drums faster, louder. The ground beneath her feet vibrates, the baobab tree seeming to respond, its branches stretching high as if reaching for the heavens. The villagers watch, their skepticism melting away, replaced by reverence and belief. Then, the first raindrop falls. It's small at first, but it quickly grows into a torrential downpour, soaking the earth and filling the air with the sound of renewal. The villagers gasp, their faces lit with astonishment.
The ancestors are with us.
The rain falls steadily, filling the riverbeds, soaking the dry earth. The village is alive with the sound of the rain, the smell of wet earth, the feeling of hope. The rain continues to pour, but in the distance, Kwame stands alone beneath the baobab, looking at the village as it comes alive with joy. He feels something he hasn't felt in years, a deep sense of peace.
She was right all along. I doubted her. I doubted the ancestors. And now I see the way back.
He approaches Amina, who stands still in the center of the village, now bathed in the light of the rain. Her face is filled with awe and relief, but also with a quiet resolve.
You've done it, Amina. You've brought us back. You've restored the balance.
We've done it, Kwame. We did it together.
I was wrong to doubt. I have spent so many years chasing my own grief, but you have shown me the way back, to the land, to the ancestors, to our people.
Amina looks at him, her face filled with understanding and gratitude.
It's never too late to listen.
Kwame nods, a deep sense of closure settling in his heart. The village is safe. The rain has come, and with it, his redemption. The morning sun rises over the village, casting a golden light on the rejuvenated land. The rain from the previous night has soaked the earth, and the crops are already showing signs of recovery. The once parched fields now sparkle with life, the river flowing strong and steady, replenished by the downpour. The air is fresher, the earth softer, and the sky above is bright with possibility. Amina walks through the village square, her gaze filled with quiet pride. The villagers, once weighed down with fear and desperation, now walk together, their faces filled with hope. The women gather near the riverbank, washing clothes, while the children play near the newly revived crops. It's as if the village has been reborn, not just physically, but spiritually. Amina pauses near the baobab tree, its branches reaching high into the sky, its leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. It stands as a silent testament to the spiritual renewal the village has undergone. The land, once dry and cracked, is now fertile and alive with promise.
This is what we fought for. This is the future we've created. The ancestors have shown us the way. We are connected, now and always.
It's incredible, isn't it? The land, the people, everything is coming back to life. It feels like the village has been given a second chance.
Amina nods, but there is a quiet understanding in her eyes. This is more than just the land coming back to life. This is the spirit of the village, the collective soul of the people, healed and united.
It's not just the rain. It's the belief we found in each other, in the land, and in the ancestors. Together, we've brought the balance back.
I didn't believe before, but I see it now. We are one with the land. We are part of something greater.
Amina places a hand gently on Nyala's shoulder, a quiet bond of understanding passing between them. Nyala has grown, just as the village has, learning to embrace the spiritual wisdom that once seemed so distant.
We've all changed. The ancestors have shown us a path, and now it's up to us to walk it.
Children running, adults working, elders gathering in shared wisdom. The baobab tree stands proudly at the center, its roots deep in the earth and its branches stretching toward the sky, symbolizing the unity between past, present, and future. As the sun begins to set, the villagers gather beneath the baobab tree once again. The fire at the center of the village flickers with warmth and light, casting long shadows on the faces of the gathered crowd. Amina stands in front of the villagers, the ceremonial drum resting at her feet. She has brought them back from the brink of despair, but now she must ensure that the wisdom she has learned is passed down to the next generation. The elders sit in a circle, their faces lined with age and experience. but their eyes now filled with respect and reverence for Amina. The chief, no longer the hardened figure he once was, stands beside her, his presence now one of support, not authority. Amina looks around the circle, seeing not just the villagers who once doubted her, but the faces of the future. Children who will grow up in a world connected to both the spiritual and physical realms.
The land is our teacher. The ancestors are our guides. And we must never forget that. The balance we have restored must be upheld, not just by me, but by all of us. We are the caretakers of this land, of this wisdom, and it is our responsibility to pass it on.
She looks toward the children, who stand at the edge of the circle, their eyes wide with awe. This is their future, their inheritance, not just the physical land, but the spiritual wisdom of their ancestors.
You are the future. You must honor the land, honor the ancestors, and honor each other. The rain we've called down is a gift, but it is also a challenge. We must continue to listen, to learn, and to grow.
The elders, once skeptical, now nod in agreement, their faces softened with the wisdom of acceptance. The chief steps forward, his once arrogant demeanor now tempered by humility.
Amina has taught us something we had forgotten. She has reminded us that leadership is not about control, but about service. We must listen to the land and the ancestors, just as she has. And we must pass that wisdom down.
Amina steps back, the ceremonial drum now resting in her hands. The chief looks at her, his face filled with pride.
You are ready. You are our leader now.
Amina, humbled, looks out at the gathered villagers, the elders, the children, the future. She nods, the weight of leadership heavy, but no longer a burden.
We lead together. This is our path, our responsibility, and I will walk it with you.
The crowd murmurs in agreement, their voices filled with reverence. Amina raises the drum above her head, the beating of its rhythm filling the air. The drum is no longer just an object. It is a symbol of the wisdom passed from one generation to the next. The time has come for Amina to officially pass on the leadership role to the next generation. The village has healed, the rain has come, and the land is beginning to thrive once again. But Amina knows that leadership is not about holding power. It's about sharing it, ensuring the wisdom of the past is carried forward. The villagers gather in the central square, the air filled with quiet anticipation. Amina stands before them, the drum still in her hands, but now it's no longer just hers. She places it on a pedestal, its rhythm a steady, grounding pulse beneath the silent sky.
Leadership is not a title. It is a responsibility. We have all led in our own way, through the trials, through the drought, through the darkness. Now, we will lead together.
The chief, standing beside Amina, looks out at the gathered villagers. His face is filled with respect for her, and for the first time, he feels truly at peace with his role.
Amina has shown us that leadership is about service to the community. We are all leaders, and we must all guide the future.
He turns to Amina, his voice filled with emotion.
You are the heart of this village now, Amina. I pass the mantle to you. You will lead us forward.
The crowd watches in awe, the chief's words marking the final transition of power. Amina, now fully embracing her leadership, steps forward to accept the mantle. She places her hand over her heart, a deep sense of responsibility filling her.
This is my calling. This is where I belong.
Night falls, and Amina stands beneath the baobab tree once more. The village is alive with celebration, the sound of laughter filling the air. The land has been restored, the rain has come, and the villagers are united in their shared joy.
You've done it, Amina. The village is whole again.
Amina looks out at the village, her heart full of gratitude.
We've done it. Together. The ancestors have shown us the way, but we are the ones who walk it.
You have led us to something greater. You've restored our faith, our land, and our spirits.
Amina smiles, looking at the stars above. The baobab tree, standing tall and proud, feels alive in a way it never has before.
The journey is never over. We must always listen, always remember. The ancestors are always with us. We carry their wisdom forward.